I've hauled thousands of loads in my career. Steel coils, frozen chickens, dodgy car parts that smelled like they came from a skip. But one load, one completely ordinary, boring, nothing special load, nearly put me in a ditch on the M6 and ended everything. And I am not being dramatic, mate. I genuinely thought that was it. It started at a warehouse just outside Birmingham. Late collection about 10:30 at night. Standard stuff. The bloke on the bay hands me a curtain cider trailer, paperwork all signed off, weight ticket showing well within legal limits. Nothing dodgy, nothing unusual. I did my walk around. Tires looked good, lights working, curtain straps all clipped down. I even gave the trailer a little shake at the back, the way you do. Felt solid enough. If someone had walked up to me right then and said, "Mate, that load is going to nearly kill you in 40 minutes, I would have laughed my coffee straight out my nose. Proper laughed, because from the outside, it looked like the most boring job of the entire week. I climbed up into the cab, punched the route into the sat-nav, and pulled out onto the A road, heading for the M6. Radio on. Rain just starting to spit on the windscreen. Just another Tuesday night on the tarmac. The rain proper arrived about 20 minutes in. Not a light drizzle, full UK misery weather. Heavy, sideways, the kind that makes your wipers work hard and your eyes work harder. I had her up to a steady 56 on the motorway, sitting in the middle lane, nice and settled, and that's when I first felt it. A sway. Just a small one. The trailer pushing out slightly to the right. I eased off the throttle and told myself it was the crosswind. Because it's always the crosswind, isn't it? You feel something slightly off, and your brain immediately finds the most reasonable explanation. But then it happened again. And this time, it wasn't subtle. The whole back end pushed left, then right. A slow, lazy pendulum motion that had no business coming from a properly loaded trailer. My hands tightened on the wheel. Every nerve in my body switched on. Something was moving back there. And I knew. I knew straight away. That cargo was not sitting still. Then the M6 started to drop. Long, steep downhill stretch. The kind that demands your full respect in a 40-ton Arctic on a dry day, let alone in hammering rain at midnight. I touched the air brakes. She didn't respond the way she should. The speed barely dropped, because whatever was loose in that trailer was now sliding forward with the momentum of the hill, throwing the weight distribution completely out of whack. Then it happened. The trailer lurched hard, violently, like something enormous had just thrown itself against the left wall. The steering wheel ripped in my hands. I am talking proper fighting me. Both arms, full strength, just trying to keep the nose pointed forward. The back wheels, I felt them go light. That horrible stomach-dropping sensation where the rear of the rig lifts and you lose grip on the tarmac. 40 tons of cargo rolling behind me like a tidal wave. Like the trailer itself had come alive and was trying to overtake the cab. I cannot tell you exactly what I did in those next few seconds because my brain was running purely on adrenaline and muscle memory. I steered into the movement. I pumped the brakes. I kept her out of the barriers. And somehow I wrestled her onto the hard shoulder and got her stopped. I sat there for a full minute, engine running, wipers going, hands shaking on the wheel, chest heaving like I'd just sprinted a mile. I genuinely thought the whole rig was going over. I thought that was it. Game over. Right. I grabbed my torch and my crowbar from behind the seat, because when a load shifts like that, you expect the worst. Snapped straps, loose steel beams rolling around, Machinery that's broken free and is now just a 2-ton missile rattling about in the dark. I walk round to the back of the trailer, rain absolutely hammering down. I unclipped the rear doors, braced myself, and swung them open. And a wall of tins hit me square in the boots, hundreds of them, rolling out onto the hard shoulder, bouncing off the tarmac, spinning off into the dark. Heinz baked beans. Thousands and thousands of tins of Heinz baked beans. The pallets had completely collapsed inside the trailer. Every single tin was loose, rolling freely. And on that downhill stretch, they had all surged forward at once like an orange and brown tsunami. I stood there in the pouring rain on the M6 hard shoulder at midnight, surrounded by baked bean tins rolling into the darkness, and I didn't know whether to cry or laugh. I mean, baked beans, mate, nearly put me in a wall. Baked beans. Here is the thing, though, and I want you to really hear this. People think trucking is just driving, just sitting behind a wheel listening to the radio. But one lazy forklift driver in a warehouse who couldn't be bothered to strap a pallet properly. That one small mistake becomes my emergency on a dark motorway at 60 miles an hour. It becomes a jackknifed lorry. It becomes a fatality. The road doesn't care how ordinary your paperwork looks. Always check your load, mate. Always. Even when it looks boring. Even when you're knackered and it's raining and you just want to get moving. Because the load that nearly kills you won't announce itself. It'll just start swaying. Drop a like if this one had your heart going, and subscribe for more tales from the tarmac. And let me know in the comments, what's the worst mistake you've ever had to clean up at your job? Because I have a feeling I'm not the only one with a story like this. Stay safe out there. Keep the shiny side up.